Hey guys, my name is Abhishek and welcome to the Code Studio. In today's episode, we are going to be building a revamped portfolio. If you have checked out my channel before, there is already a course on building a portfolio. Do check it out. But in this course, we will cover more latest technologies and possibly add newer, more versatile designs to the website. Hopefully, this will be helpful to you. If you have not already subscribed, do consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot. And if you like the content, please do like and comment below on what more topics you want to discuss about. Without further ado, let's get started with coding. Hey guys, welcome back. In this section, we are going to be coding the actual portfolio. I want to get started off with uh, how we are going to set up the basic skeletal app. For setting up the basic skeletal app, you will have to run npx create React app and your project name. I've named it PF, and you can name it whatever you want. Once you do that, it will download the skeletal code for the create React app for that specific project, and it will create the entire folder structure. The folder structure will be exactly as you see over here. Um, we are going to talk about each of these folders separately, and we're going to make changes over here as well. But for now, after you have set this up, what you can do is start the application by running npm start, and ideally you should have something that looks like this. And once you have this ready, it's time to go and get started. Cool. So let's start with our cleaning up process. We don't need test. So let's go ahead and remove test, setup test, and report web vitals. These three files are not needed. They're relevant if you're writing a production application. If you're writing a production application, you will have to write tests and report web vitals as well. And this is to basically set up the tests with the testing framework. But for our use case, it is not required. So let's go ahead and delete these three files first. Okay. Next, let's also stop the server so that it doesn't report unnecessary failures. Next, what we have to do is over here, this depends on certain files. So let's go ahead and remove those deleted dependencies as well. And the same goes to app.js. App.js is where we are going to make our code changes. Because we want to start editing over here, let's remove what already exists and let's start with a bit simple hello world. So we can remove this and change it to hello world. And let's remove all class name and styling associations as well. So this is let's still import the CSS file, but let's remove the styling inside the CSS file. Okay, and let's verify everything looks good. Cool. And logo is no longer being used, so we can go ahead and delete that as well. Okay, I hope you followed along over here. What we did was we deleted the files that are no longer required. The reason we did that was we are building a custom app and we'll make changes according to our specific needs. And the only files we have kept are index.js, index.css, app.js, and app.css. In app.js, we are just returning a hello world in the div, and we're importing app.css, but app.css is empty for now. Okay, cool. Let's get started. Now let's start the app again. Once you start the app, it should automatically go and it should refresh and it should tell you hello world. So basically we have our app running right now, and it's all set for us to start coding. So what are we going to cover in today's session? In today's session, we are going to do something very simple. What we are going to do is we are going to add a photo. We are going to add a photo and then we are going to add some text under the photo. and we are going to center it in the page. Make sense? So ideally there is going to be a photo, and then there is going to be some text below it, and we're going to center it in the page. That's the scope of this uh, video. We're going to build on top of that in the coming few sessions. So first, let's import image. So what you can do is get your image, your profile photo, or whatever. I have a profile photo over here, but let's not use that. I want something with a transparent background. You can take any photo and you can use an online tool, any online tool to remove the background. That's what I did over here, and the name is too big, so let's rename it. Let's rename it to be something like photo.png. The image with the transparent background, we're going to put it in our source folder. A small caveat: if we put it in the public folder, importing it will not be possible because the public folder isn't built yet, which is why we'll put the photo over here inside the source folder itself, and to use it we are going to import it here. And you can use it using the image tag. And it's always good practice to add some alternate text to your images, and the reason for that is if the browser isn't able to load the photo, at least the alternate text will be available. And it is also required for accessibility reasons, so just add some description. In this case it's just a photo, so I'm going to say photo. And once you're done with that, start the app again, and you should see that you're seeing hello world as well as the photo. Awesome, we are making progress. Next thing to do is we will remove the hello world and we will add some text in the bottom. And in the text we can have an introduction or whatever text you want. So for my text I'm going to add something like, hey Abhishek, a coder, lifter, and anime week. This is going to be the text that I'm going to put in. I'm going to save that, and it is going to hot reload by itself. And as you can see, the text is also visible over here. So for the last part of today's video, what we are going to do is we are going to try and put it in the center of the page. Why center? Because it is aesthetically pleasing, and it is one of the most common things we end up doing in a lot of web development. We try to center things, especially things around the web page. So let's see how we can do that gracefully. So for centering it, the first thing we need to do is we need to have a way to style the entire element as in this photo as well as this paragraph. So let's enclose this in div tags, and let's add a class name for this. So we added any class name. You can add anything. Because this is the intro section, I'm going to add the class name as intro, and over here we can add the necessary styling for it. So the zap.css, so in this we are going to add, first we need to add a height, and because we need to know relative to what height should it be centered, which is why it is important to define the height. And 100 view h means it is 100% of the viewable height of the browser. So the viewport site is denoted by VH, and the next thing we do is display it as grid, and we are going to do two things: place item center and place content center. If we do this, we will see that the image as well as the content is center aligned, and this is one of the easiest and most elegant ways to align things to the center uh, through the page. That's it for today's coding session. We will be back again soon with the next part of this. In the next part, what we are going to do is we are going to pick different fonts. We are going to pick colors to make our portfolio more immersive, and then we are going to add change the font and basically make this prettier. That's going to be on the agenda in the next session. Hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, please do like, share, comment and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next one.